teacher at Aquila Needles Montessori School, Bagada, Lagos. I've been teaching in a Montessori environment for 5 years now, and I can say it has been really awesome. Okay. The Montessori method of education was developed by Dr. Maria Montessori, who was an Italian physician and teacher. And it is a child-centered educational approach which helps the development of the child from birth to adulthood. It's also the kind of education that helps or that values the human spirit and also help the development of the total child. And when I talk about the total child, it involves the cognitive aspect, the emotional aspect, the social aspect, and the physical aspect of the child. When you come into the Montessori environment, the first thing that you will see is the aesthetics. You see beauty all around you. The environment is peaceful and really it's child-friendly. So the first thing that you actually notice is the classroom, which we call the prepared environment. So the classroom is designed in such a way that children are always eager to learn. They have a lot to play with, they have a lot to learn with. They do a lot of things in the classroom. We have what we call the circle time, where they can sit in groups, they can sit in small groups and discuss. They can sit in large group, which we call circle time. And we have what we call the work cycle. That's a 3-hour period of work where they are focused, they are concentrated on their work. They're not just playing. So most of the time, when you come into the environment, a Montessori environment, you see the children going about, and you don't see a teacher. You're wondering, oh, what's happening here? Are they playing? But no, they're actually working because the environment has been prepared for them. This is actually one thing that you notice in the Montessori environment, the prepared environment. One of the things that a Montessori teacher does in the classroom is to observe the children. There is one term we call follow the child, you know, and there's a quote that says, help me to do it myself. So we are not all over the child. A Montessori teacher is not all over the child. A Montessori teacher gives the lesson and steps back and allows the child to explore what he or she has just learned. So it's quite different. What a Montessori teacher does in the classroom is quite different. He or she doesn't stand in front of the classroom to start reading, or he or she doesn't stand in front of the classroom to write notes on the board, or something like that. But we give the lessons and the children do the lessons by themselves. Discrimination, I don't think that is necessary because the Montessori environment or the Montessori approach to education or to learning is not a competitive one, really, and it's not based on the environment, so to speak. Like, you don't rate a child or you don't judge a child just because the child goes to a Montessori school. I remember that I mentioned something when I was talking about the Montessori method of education. I said it values the human spirit. And actually, what we put into the children in the Montessori environment is based on the teacher and the home environment. Because both the school and the home environment need to work hand in hand to raise a child, and which is what is expected of everyone out there, even in the classic educational method we have out there. Do you understand? So it's not about the Montessori environment, it's about what you put into the child. It's not a competition. Like most of us, like I wasn't raised in a Montessori environment. In fact, I actually heard about Montessori education how many years ago, like 5 years ago, before I started working in the Montessori environment. So I was raised in a classic classroom, a classic school, traditional school, but I came out, I turned out good. It's not just about the teachers, it's not just about the classroom, it's not just about what the environment has to offer me, but also the parent has a lot of role to play in raising a child. So I don't believe there should be any discrimination. We have most of our children that after their toddler and they left the toddler community in our school, they went to a traditional school, and we received testimonials. We received testimonies that they are actually doing well. They were able to blend well in the classroom or out there in the normal traditional way of teaching. So I don't think it's about Montessori per se, though it's people quite say that Montessori method is very good and all that. I think it's based on the observation that Dr. Maria Montessori did. And she actually did it with children. She observed children and was able to bring out the method she's using today. The theories she's using, she actually developed those theories based on the observation that she did. And I believe that every teacher can actually do that. So you have to actually build yourself so that you can impute in those children. A Montessori child can live the Montessori environment, and when it gets into the society and turn out to be something else. You understand? I'm not saying that, I'm not expecting that as a teacher. I really want my child, after teaching my child, to go out there and become useful. But the thing is, it's not just about us alone. It's not just about the Montessori environment. Right? But the job actually lies with the teacher, the home, and the child. There are many schools out there that they tend to tag themselves as Montessori schools. But one thing, okay, this is an advice to parents and teachers and school owners, really. When you come to what's the difference between a real Montessori school or a full Montessori school from a fake one, if I can use that word, is the prepared environment. When you come into the classroom, what do you see? The way the things are being arranged in the classroom, we have the shelves that actually harbor the different areas of curriculum that we have. There is the practical life, the language shelves, the sensorial shelves, the practical life shelf. I think I've mentioned that. All right. So when you come into the Montessori classroom, you see all these things in display on the shelves. So the children just go there, pick their material, sit down and work with it. You see space where we can, where they hold circle times. There are space, like you see a vast space, because children also work on the floor. We have floor mats. So if a child does not want to work on the table, or the material the child wants to work with is not something that he or she can place on the table or work with on the table, the child gets a floor mat, sits on the floor and work. Everywhere is neat and clean and hygienic for the children. That's what you see in a real Montessori school. And if you don't see this, then it's fake. I would like to advise parents to spend more time with their children. You may have the money, really. You may provide everything you need to provide, but children are actually sensitive. They need lots of attention, really. So they need your input. They need you to always be there. Let them know that, okay, you are a part of them, that they are a part of you. You need to also respect your child. Don't assume, he's a child or she's a child. You talk too much. Oh no, and please do not shut down your child. Don't shut him up or don't shut her up. If she or he has something to say, try, be patient and listen. beg you. Because children come into the classroom and you hear a lot of things. My mom does not listen to me, my mom does not have time for me, and they're devastated and they don't want to walk. It also rubs off on us as teachers because a child comes to the classroom in the morning and the first thing the child says to you is, oh, do you know what my mom did yesterday? My mom did not even, yes, this is what happens. A child comes to the classroom and starts talking about his or her experience the last weekend, which were actually not pleasant. Do you understand? So please, give your child a reason to always want to learn in school. Because at the end of the day, parents will end up saying, no, the teachers are not doing well. But you're actually the ones not doing the right thing you should do. And for teachers, I would like you to also be patient and know the child you're working with. There's no harm in doing that. Because you have to place value on his or her spirit. That means you also have to be spiritual yourself. I want you to follow your child. Observe your child. Don't compare your child with another child. Because two children, even from the same parents, are different. So please, follow your child. Hello children! Trust you are having a wonderful time at home. Okay, I would like to let you know that it is good for you when you listen to your parents, when you obey them. Is that okay? If you have any question, if you have anything bothering you, feel free to talk to your parents at home. They are a part of you, and you are a part of them. It's one big family. So always obey your parents because they know more than you really. If you have anything bothering you, if you have a question, something you're not clear about, talk to them. Talk to your teachers as well. So obey your parents and it will surely be well with you. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.